No, we're not. Hang on. Stop.
You're listening to the OMG Hour.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 265 of the OMG Hour. It is August 31st, 2017. And, of course, I am Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
All right, I'm not doing funny voices today. I'm not
come
in the mood for
on.
No, not in the mood for funny voices.
Why?
Not because it's just today is one of those days. I am Tico, Mr. Second Place.
That was a funny
also
voice.
here. Yeah, no, I mean other than my normal funny
Oh,
voice.
other than that, I gotcha.
I'm not going to do any weird accents or anything like that. I'm not.
Well,
not
the accent thing
any
is
flair.
That's Jeff's domain. Is the accent?
That is true.
Thing, you know.
That is true. We'll have to get him to come back, do an entire show where every time he speaks, he does a different accent.
Ooh, that would be interesting. All right. Well, we're hoping Jeff's back next week, by the way.
That would be nice.
Next week, of course, will be our epic Destiny 2 showcase. Probably, because, you know, it's Destiny 2 week, so we'll see how things go. And I'm hoping Jeff will be back by then. Other than that, a little bit of quick housekeeping for the audio listeners. After this show, I am literally going to be packing the car to get ready to go out on vacation with my family for the long weekend. And so I am not going to edit the audio podcast like I normally do. So you're going to be hearing a direct cut right from the video cast. So
uncensored. Let's get the swear words in there.
No, that doesn't happen. As much as you would like it to happen, Tico.
Fine.
Not on this show.
Fine.
But anyway.
No swear words.
So there we go. Yeah, and it might actually be a shorter show too, just because, you know, I've got so much going on. We'll see how things go. But
we'll try. We'll see what it does.
Let's get to it. Tico, do you want us to talk about the stuff that you've been doing first?
Sure. So, all right. I picked up because of last week we were talking about, I can't remember what was the game we were talking about that we showed off. Anyways, we showed off a game, and it reminded me that Ark had come out. The full version of Ark.
Oh, Conan Exiles.
Conan, that's what it was. Conan.
Yeah,
so it reminded me,
we tried playing Conan last week.
So I'm like, well, Ark came out. That had been in preview for 14, 15, 16 years, so why not give it a try? I had purchased it when it originally came out on preview, so I'm like, okay, let's go.
Well, now that it's finally out, it must be good, right?
Oh, it's brilliant, yes. So I and the video watchers are going to get a chance to see some of the. I didn't actually play any of the game. Let's put it that's how bad the experience was. I didn't actually even play any of the game, but I captured some video just to showcase the character customization. I basically went in and I just kept hitting randomize my character. And it starts off with a normal looking guy. I'm like, okay, well, let's instead of tweaking everything, I always try to hit random a couple of times to sort of see what options it gives me. So I hit it a bunch of times and it just... I don't know what this thing seems to think people look like.
Oh, so try to explain it for the audio listeners what we're looking at here.
It's like we're looking in funhouse mirrors of what, you got guys with stubby legs and massively ripped bodies or a torso I don't know, it's long
Oh, we lost you there for a second.
Sorry, it's just the weirdest combination of things. It's like everybody's got Popeye arms and legs.
Yeah, there's some where the forearms themselves look like they're 3 times the size of his normal arm.
Yeah, and I just kept hitting randomize, waiting to see if I could get somebody who looks somewhat normal, and none of these things look like a.
They don't even look
type of human I've seen.
No, they don't even look human. This is so bizarre.
It'll make your guy 7 feet tall, but his arms are T-Rex arms. It is the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, it was just again I got to that and I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to play this game based off of how terrible I know I could probably customize and I want this guy to be this tall and stuff like that. But you'd think when you're going to hit randomize to give me a character I can take into the game, it's going to give you something that sort of resembles
a human.
A human.
No, this isn't human quality stuff going on there.
No, based off of the quality of that, I'm like, I'm just not even interested in jumping into the game. So I didn't even jump into the game. So I played the Ark, what is it? Survival Evolved
character customizer.
Yeah, that's all I did for that with that this week. So I did play a free-to-play game that came out this week as well. It's called Path of Exile.
Oh, this is free-to-play.
This is a free-to-play game. They have packs and stuff like that. So, you know, as for always, you can, you know, pay to upgrade your character and get extra stuff. It is not good. It's a Diablo style isometric.
Yeah, isometric view. Yep.
Isometric view Diablo style. Now it starts you off and you have to kill a couple of zombies on the beach. Like you're shipwrecked, you show up on the beach and you have to kill a couple of zombies, and you go through the main area and they give you another quest to go find something else. And then you step into the next area and you were just like, there's like you're still level 1. Like you haven't leveled up. You've got one skill, and there's like every 2 inches there's an enemy attacking you. Like, wow. And they're not one-hit kills either. Like these things like take for each enemy is like 5 or 6 hits to take them down. So there's no real way to.
So the video we're seeing right now, this is you at level 1.
This is me at level 1 in the second beach area of the main.
And you are literally surrounded by enemies here.
Yeah, like I'm trying to find a space where I can like, okay, I'll go here and then I can fight some guys off. But no, like there's like literally, like I'd say there's at least 100 enemies here, and they're like 5 or 6 hits each as you're taking significant damage each time too. Wow.
Are you sure you went to the right place? Is this the only...
There was no other place to go. I went back and I checked. There was no other place to go, and I'm like, there's got to be somewhere. And there's fast zombies, slow zombies, crabs, spiders. Like there is no spot, and then like I finally get to the point where like there's skeleton archers. I'm like, forget it.
You're just running. You're aggroing everything.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
And like you see that, like I'm taking a couple of hits and like 2 hits from these guys and I'm dead. This guy's throwing fire bombs at me. There's no way you can do anything with this thing. Like there's no spot to catch your breath to figure out how. Like I've seen like lots of enemies in Diablo before, but you have like AoE attacks and stuff like that. You can take them out with a couple of mouse clicks or button clicks. This does not give you any reprieve. I basically ran around the beach and then I just jumped back in and said, okay, that's the end of my time playing this.
Wow. That's...
Yeah. And okay. I know I'm bad at games. I'm aware that I'm bad at games, but I'm not that bad that is the type of... Like, I can't think that anybody's hopped in there and goes, oh yeah, I beat that in no problem in 5 seconds.
Well, that's just... We've talked about games like that before where, you know, the difficulty level spikes right at the beginning. And
yeah.
How are you supposed to enjoy any kind of game that just throws you into that kind of difficulty level? You know?
Yeah, like it hasn't even said at any point in the game, oh, press this button to attack or use your special power. Like this is literally like I did the first part. There's like 6 zombies on the beach and then like a big troll guy that you have to kill. I killed them in the first part. You go in the thing, you say, hey, we saw you killed that guy. Why don't you grab some like supplies from a boat out on the other side of the base? And I went out there and that's what it was. It's like every single enemy known to man is just sitting right out on side the other side of that camp.
Wow,
it was not fun. I will say that. Free to play.
It didn't. Well, that's there you go. Free to play, definitely. So it's not worth the free, is what you're saying?
Well, I mean, it's. I didn't like it. I didn't have fun. I didn't enjoy myself. I'm not being like, man, I got to get back in there and try that again.
Now, is it free? Actually, a full-on release free to play, or is it a game preview?
It is a full-on free to play game. Similar to how Neverwinter and stuff like that are. It is not a game preview.
Wow. And I mean, just from what I was seeing from the clips you were showing, it doesn't actually look all that great either.
It doesn't look great either. And I believe this has been out on PC for a little bit as well.
But then it should look better, shouldn't it? Because, you know,
think
PC Master Race and all.
You'd think. But yeah, no, it doesn't look great either. I mean, the character creation looks better than Ark, so.
Well, yeah, okay. I think Mass Effect Andromeda looked better than Ark. That's true.
Well, at least more realistic looking humans.
Yes.
And that's when you're creating one of the aliens, so.
Right. Okay. Well, last week I was able to talk a little bit about Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. And so now we can talk about it fully because it is fully released and I've played quite a bit of it now. I've actually been playing this all week.
As have I. Actually.
Yeah, so now you got a copy of it as well.
Yes.
And what do you think of it so how far into it have you reached?
I think level 1-8.
Okay, so world 1, level 8. It's nice how they're actually still using the Mario world names.
Yeah.
Like I'm on 2-8 actually. It's funny because I'm at the end of area or world 2.
Yeah.
I got to tell you though, the boss battles are intense. They're long because they actually very much like a Mario game, you have to defeat the boss 3 times. It's just like your typical platformer, right? The boss always has 3 versions of himself, and you have to defeat him 3 times. Well, that doesn't change in this just because it's a tactics game. You know, you still have to defeat the boss 3 times in order to actually defeat him.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot going on in here. I didn't say a whole lot about it last week, but once you dive into it, each character has a skill tree. You can pump points. You get orbs that you collect as you play the game, and you can you put the orbs into building up your skills. And it can be skills like giving you extra movement. It can be skills like your dash attack, which is essentially a free attack. As you're making a move, you can actually dash into one of your enemies and then go and hide behind a barrier and then take a shot. So your dash move is like a free damage to your enemy.
Yes. And your enemies have that as well, though, too.
Your enemies
have the dash attack available as well.
They do. All of your enemies, a lot of your enemies actually, depending on the enemy type, will have the same kind of powers that you do. So you have to account for that based on the type of enemy you're attacking. Some of the, like Rabid Peach, for example, can dash up to 3 enemies at once. Right? So she can actually run through 3 enemies and do up to like 50 damage per enemy in it with a dash attack once you've upgraded it. Other things like Mario and Luigi both have what you would call Overwatch. So if when it's not their turn, if an enemy moves within their range of fire, they can actually take a free shot. And Mario has the ability to upgrade that to take 2 shots. And that's actually come in really handy as I'm playing the game, where an enemy will move and both Mario and Luigi will take shots and kill that enemy in one move. Right? And
not on your turn.
But it's not even on my turn, which is great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of detail to this. There's a lot of weapons. You get to upgrade your weapons in between. You can swap out characters in your party in between missions as well. So if you're playing a mission, for example, typically you play a couple of levels before everybody's healed again, right? So if one of your characters happens to lose a lot of health in one mission, you can swap him out for a character who has full health, right? In between, before you enter the next one.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of customization that way. A lot of strategy, like a lot. You know, do you use your special ability before attacking? Because sometimes your special ability, one of them, I think it's Rabid Mario, has the ability. He can sing a song basically that forces enemies towards him. Right?
Oh.
So it allows him to bring enemies that are fairly close right in upon him. Then he could attack with his secondary attack, which is his big, like, almost like a hammer, which attacks anything in 9 squares around him. And then he could move to get away from them, right? So you really have to strategize. In what order do you do your movement? Do you do your movement last after attacking? Or do you do your movement first? Do you do your special attack first? You have to plan. Some of your special attacks can help your other your members of your team. You know, like by increasing their attack damage. So really, you know, for as simple a game as it sounds. Now, last week I said it's a simplified version of XCOM, but when you really get down into the nitty-gritty, there's a lot of detail in this. There is a lot of strategy in this game.
Yeah.
You know?
No, there really is. It's a lot of fun. It is cutesy and everything like that, but it is a lot of fun. And figuring out, like, it's not always just run, hide behind cover and do stuff. I played one today where all of my enemies were up above me, so they had an advantage because they had the high ground, so they did more damage. So I had to use the I guess it's the boost thing where you run at another character and they flip you up somewhere?
Yeah, so you can use the members of your team to actually bounce you from one area to another, and you get further movement. And again, some characters have bonuses to that. So Luigi can actually bounce between multiple characters, which gets him really far, because Luigi is essentially a sniper. Right? His character type is a sniper. He can shoot a lot further than everyone else. So you want him to get further away.
Yeah, I've just unlocked Luigi, so...
Yeah, and I love, one of Luigi's, his secondary attack is a remote control bomb that seeks out and just seeks out the enemy. Even if the enemy moves, the next turn it will keep moving towards the enemy until it gets within range, and then it just explodes. It's so much fun, this game, really.
Yeah.
And in between levels too, it's not just battle and battle after battle after battle.
No, there's a collection too.
There's
and
collection puzzles, really, fun. They're not super hard puzzles.
No.
But they're fun puzzles, and it actually, sometimes the battles can be long, engaging. They can be, like I said, strategic, and actually, some of them can be difficult. If you make a simple mistake, it could be game over.
Yeah.
So you may have to try it multiple times. But what I find is after a battle, I actually like that little bit of roaming, little freedom, do a little puzzle solving, looking for the hidden items, just walking around the world. I actually enjoy that little bit of downtime.
Yeah, it does break it up nicely. It breaks up the sort of the XCOM missions with exploration. It does break it up nicely, because it does, like, I'm not feeling like it's just one thing after the other after the other. Like, you're getting a good break in between, it feels.
It's a great mix between that XCOM strategy style game and your typical 3D Mario platformer, without your actual jumping. Like, it's not a platformer where you jump or anything, but just exploring the world. And it's great. I'm really enjoying this game. And, I don't think I've played my Switch nearly as much as I have with Mario plus Rabbids. It is a fantastic game that I honestly believe any Switch owner needs to buy this game.
This is a great game. I actually have more time on this game than I do have on Zelda.
I'm probably quickly coming up on that for sure. I mean, I played Zelda quite a bit at the beginning. Yeah. Zelda got a little samey, a little boring for me, which I know, sorry, Sid, I know you're cringing, but it did, and then, this game is just fantastic. Like I said, I'm going on vacation this weekend, and I'm actually looking forward to taking my Switch with me to continue playing this game. Yeah. It's that good. Like, I want to be playing this game all the time. It's seriously good. I'm not sure how many worlds there are, but I think there's 8 characters you end up getting. You end up basically getting, from what I understand, you get Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi, and then a Rabbid version of each of them. That's what I'm speculating for the last few, but I'm pretty sure that's what I've seen, because you start with Mario, Rabbid Peach, and a Rabbid Luigi.
Yes.
And then very early in World 1, you get Luigi.
Yes.
And I've seen pictures of Yoshi and Rabbid Yoshi. So I've kind of put it together based on pictures and stuff I've seen, that those are the 8 characters you're getting. Well, essentially 4 characters plus 4 Rabbid versions of them.
Yeah, who's on the box? I'm looking at the box.
The box, I think, are your starters. I think Peach, Mario, Rabbid Luigi, and Rabbid Peach are on the box.
Oh, and there is a Yoshi and Rabbid Yoshi on the back of the box, too.
Okay, yeah. So I think those are the characters you get. I'm not sure how many worlds there are. I'm thinking there might be 4 worlds with 8 battles in each world.
Yeah.
And there are mid-bosses, and then there are final bosses. And believe me, those final bosses are long, and you really, really have to strategize with the final bosses, Yeah. And as the worlds progress, you get more and more obstacles on the level, not just enemies. So for those of you watching the video we just saw in World 2, some of the levels have a twister because you're in the desert, and the twister, in between your movement and the enemy movement, it will start up and then it will cross the map, and if you're in the way of the twister, it actually bounces you and you take damage.
Yeah.
So you have
the enemies as well.
The enemies as well.
The Chomp Chomp level I did recently as well, where there's a Chomp Chomp in the middle of level, and if you have to set yourself up so you're protected, and the enemy, if they end up leaving, it'll attack you or your enemy depending on whoever's in their range.
It attacks whoever's closest to it. So in the Chomp Chomp levels, you can actually strategize to force the enemies, because those enemies are what I think are the bouncers, which can take a free turn if you attack them. They will move towards you a few squares automatically, and if they get within range of you, they'll have a free attack on you, and they attack hard.
Yeah.
But you can force them towards the Chomp Chomp, because you know they're going to go towards where you attacked them. So you get to the other side of the Chomp Chomp, force the bouncer go towards you. He ends up closest to the Chomp Chomp and then gets eaten.
Yeah.
So there's that, and honestly, I think the level designs are kind of brilliant that way, where you have all these opportunities to actually set up enemies to kill themselves almost, or to make sure the enemies are going to get damage from the level as well as yourself.
Yeah, because that extra damage can play a big part into it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brilliant game, honestly.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about Mario plus Rabbids. Brilliant game. Last week I mentioned that it really feels like a Mario game, even though it's not even a Nintendo title. And it really does. Ubisoft did just a fantastic job creating a Mario game that feels like a first-party Mario game.
It does. It really does not feel it feels like it belongs in the same breath as all of your regular Mario stuff.
Oh, absolutely. It's brilliant. I commend Ubisoft for what they've done. It's fantastic. So if you have a Switch, or if you're going to get a Switch, you need to get this game.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. So much fun.
Excellent. That's actually the end of our gaming talk this week. Surprise, surprise. That was only 20 minutes. How about that?
Not much. We didn't play a lot this week.
We really didn't. We really didn't. So with that, let's move on to the stuff we like to talk about.
OMG.
So some more information came out, and this sort of leads back to what we were saying last week. Remember, we were talking about the Xbox One X strategy, and now some people are saying, what's the VR strategy? What's going on with VR? Microsoft must have a VR strategy, but why are they saying nothing about how that impacts the Xbox One X? And this week, an article came out that said apparently SteamVR games are going to come to Microsoft's $300 VR platform on Windows 10. So we reported months and months ago that Microsoft was working with Acer to create a VR platform, and their own controllers as well. And if you've seen the pictures of the controllers, they look very much like the Steam controllers.
Yeah.
I think it's the Steam controllers, or no, the Vive. They look like the HTC Vive controllers. They have the circle around the hand.
Yeah.
And they've got both a thumbstick and a trackpad, plus all your typical buttons, I believe, like trigger buttons and stuff, right?
Yes.
So they've got the full-on, VR controllers, and this is going to be a Microsoft platform. If this is a Microsoft platform, why don't we know anything about what their plans are with Xbox One X and VR? Because
it's a secret.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We know that for years, they have been working both Xbox One and Windows 10 to be essentially the same platform. That's why they have the cross-platform games now. What they call the cross-buy? Is that what they're calling it?
Play Anywhere.
Play Anywhere. Sorry, cross-buy is PlayStation. The Play Anywhere, because if you buy it on one platform, it's essentially the same game on both.
Yeah.
Because the two platforms are the same.
Same.
For all intents and purposes, Xbox One is running Windows 10.
Yes.
So if they're working with Acer on a VR platform and Steam games are going to come to it or be compatible with it, why are we hearing nothing about Xbox One X, about the console?
I don't know. To be entirely honest, it could be that they're holding out for an announcement, waiting for something to be ready. Maybe it's a big announcement closer to launch.
But we are close to launch now.
Yeah.
It's only, 2 months away?
Yeah, November. Yeah. So yeah,
It's the Xbox One X is 2 months away.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it, because if they announce that VR is coming for Xbox One X now, even if they say yes, it's coming, expect it maybe in the spring, I don't know, it would still, I think, get more people excited for the Xbox One X and maybe buy it earlier. I get not releasing them both at the same time because you don't want to split your players' monies. But at least tell us it's coming. Like, how far ahead of PlayStation VR did we know it was coming? Almost a year.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, because if you are going to do that, it's going to sell more of your console. Maybe people aren't going to buy it right away, but it's a feature that you can sell on the Xbox One X, saying, hey, this is going to be compatible with this.
Yes, and this is going to be a better platform, in my opinion, than PlayStation VR, because this uses what they call inside-out tracking, right? There are cameras on the headset that actually track your movement in real life, so it knows what you're doing, and it knows the controllers are built in such a way that it knows the basic human anatomy. So it kind of knows from where you're holding it, how far it can possibly go, based on your anatomy. So based on how it's being moved and where it is in space, it knows what you're doing with the controllers.
Yeah.
This is like high level what I read about it, There's a lot more detail about it, I'm sure. But essentially they're using anatomy to track where the controllers are in your hand. Because they can only go so many places if you're holding them in your hand. That's the basic idea.
Well, unless you're created from the ARC custom creator thing, in which case it could be anywhere.
Unless you are an ARC creation, yes, absolutely. I don't know. I thought this was an interesting article, and I look at this as like, great. We've heard about Microsoft's VR platform a while ago. It's a $300 platform, which is fantastic.
Yeah, very reasonable.
And from my understanding, that the controllers and the headset are all you need because it tracks itself. You don't need extra cameras around the room like with Vive.
Yeah.
You don't need cameras on the computer like with Oculus or with PlayStation. It tracks itself with the cameras in the headset. So if their Xbox One X is such a powerful machine, why aren't they using it to help sell VR? Or at least tell us what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe it's a marketing partnership with Acer that they're not ready to talk about it yet. Maybe Acer doesn't want to have because again, it's to be used with their devices, right? Maybe Acer doesn't want that marketing messaging going out that way just yet.
Now, on the other hand, imagine, because like I said, this article is that SteamVR games will be compatible with Microsoft's VR platform.
Yes.
Imagine if that were true for Xbox One as well. Imagine if VR came to Xbox One and they announced somehow that Steam VR games were compatible with it.
Or just Steam games in general being compatible with the Xbox One.
Oh man, can you imagine that?
Like, that's that's a pretty big win right there. If that sort of thing happens.
True. And then I kind of just wonder, how is it not just a Steam box then, right?
Yeah. Well, it would allow you to, in addition to play your regular Xbox stuff, you'd get Steam stuff too. But yeah, that would be...
It'd be pretty epic if it was compatible with Steam.
Yeah.
Wow.
Make it happen. Obviously, everything we say on the show comes
absolutely.
true. So let's just make that happen. And if it does, we take full credit for it.
Because we know that all the higher ups at Microsoft are listening to us every week.
They must.
Well, obviously. I mean, hello.
I mean, what else are they doing on a Thursday?
Well, they're discontinuing the Xbox One original.
Yes.
My launch day 2013 console is now obsolete.
Not obsolete, a collector's item, Sean.
Oh, good.
It is now a collector's item.
It is no longer for sale. If you go to the store, whatever stock is there is it. There will be no more. you can only at that point buy an Xbox One S or eventually an Xbox One X. And be sure you pronounce exactly which one you want to avoid confusion.
Just like, this or I can't make an S. I don't know. Hang on.
Or this?
Yeah, okay. We'll go with that. That's you have people walking into stores doing that. That's
Xbox. Which one? This one or this one?
Yeah. We gotta train staff on how to
you got to use your fingers to create an S or an X or an S. There you go.
Yeah. There, done.
Yeah. So I have a collector's item because I actually have the launch day one. I have the one with the controller.
The day one edition.
Day one edition, right on the controller.
Yes.
Yeah.
As do I, actually. I have that one as well.
And what's funny is it's still working. I've heard so many people tell me that their launch day controller has stopped working.
So my controller still works. I think that the actual Xbox launch day console crapped out, but there was nothing that differentiated that console from anything else. The controller was the thing that had the marking on it.
Yeah, so. the box itself was normal, but I still have the controller. It still works. The box still works. But I guess in order for it to not work, I probably should use it, right?
It helps. I mean, for all you know, it might not work anyways. Because
No. I was on it last week, remember?
Yeah, but you played Conan. Are you really sure that was functioning properly?
Conan definitely wasn't functioning, but Forza was.
Oh, okay. Well, then, it works.
Forza Horizon, Hot Wheels, man, Hot Wheels.
All right, that one works. That did work.
Remember a few weeks ago we talked about how the Olympics were actually considering eSports.
Yes, and how ridiculous that is to be considered a sport in the first place.
Well, now they're saying that violent video games will not be included in Olympic esports consideration because the Olympics are not about violence. I get it, honestly. And when I think about when we were talking about that a few weeks ago, I think I couldn't quite put my finger on why it felt so wrong, other than the fact I don't consider it a strength, like a sport per se. But at the same time, it really does go against the spirit of the Olympics, which is unity. And, it's not about violence.
Well, what do you consider, like, at this point, what is violent? What is considered violent in this? Like,
Call of Duty, your typical esports games right now, where the object is to kill your enemy, to kill the other team.
That's every single esports game right now.
Exactly.
Like Dota, everything is like that. I mean,
Overwatch, everything is
Mario plus Rabbids is you're trying to shoot and kill that can't be included based off of this. It depends on what they consider sports games. I mean, you want to play Madden, that's a violent sport. Football is a violent sport. Boxing.
Okay. This is what they're talking about. If the game were like a Madden, like an actual sports game, but electronic version of it, they would consider it. And I'm like, why?
They haven't put American football. They have not put in the Olympics on its own. Why would they consider Madden before the actual sport of football?
Right? Maybe they're going to put FIFA in there. Maybe FIFA esports. But I don't know. Are sports games esports? Like, do they have esports tournaments for sports games?
They
legitimate question. I don't know.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes, they do.
They do.
Yes.
Well, then those would be the ones they would consider.
I don't know. Like I find that it's the same issue that we had before. Like, I mean, if that's the only thing they're going to consider, I mean, the appeal to esports, I don't think there's a lot of appeal to people watching people play Madden or FIFA on that. I think the appeal is your stuff like your Overwatch and your
exactly. That's what's fun to watch.
Those are the games that people are interested in and sort of thing, like your Halo multiplayer matches and stuff. Those are the things I think, if you're going to bring in esports, would actually draw attention.
Agreed.
But those are the ones they're saying they're not going to do.
Right. And you're right. I don't think I think it'd be kind of boring to watch someone play FIFA.
I think it's boring to watch somebody play actual soccer, let alone somebody play FIFA. So exactly. I think it's boring to actually play soccer. Now, I'm not a soccer person, so I'm sure there's plenty of people who will disagree with me. But yeah, like I don't think that would be fun. Like for me, like the idea of going on to Twitch and watching somebody play Call of Duty and getting like, a 50 kill streak or like that, nailing that sniper shot from across the map, that's more of a skill-based thing that I could at least see there's some interest in. I'm not interested in seeing that in the Olympics myself.
No.
But at least I could see where there might be some interest. But like to watch somebody play, play an actual sport where you could actually watch the real sport instead.
Right. So the quote from the Olympics is that violent esports staples that go against what is defined as Olympic values. We want to promote non-discrimination, non-violence, and peace among people. This doesn't match with video games, which are about violence, explosions, and killing. And that's where they have to draw a clear line.
So,
and I do agree with that from the standpoint of the Olympics.
What the Olympics is. So I got a question. If you are bringing in actual sports games, does basketball go with the Summer Olympics and hockey go with the Winter Olympics?
Absolutely.
But you have to split up the esports into your summer and winter categories as well?
I'm just going to put this out. If you're going to have an esports Olympics, why not have an esports Olympics, period?
Yeah. Just do an E-Olympics.
Right? Why have it part of the summer or winter?
Yeah.
Like, the Summer Olympics is about... those are actual physical... Like I said before, it's physical strength and endurance.
It's already hard enough for the discus guys to get credit as it is. Why are you taking their spotlight away?
Right?
Just let them have their time.
If you want to do esports, take it beyond the individual competitions and actually have an E-Olympics, like you said.
I think there would be considerable licensing issues too. If they're trying to bring in Madden, for example, you've got to deal with licensing issues from EA, from Madden, from the NFLPA, from the NFL. Like all of these, like individual people would have to get paid for, like their caricature showing up there. I just don't think it makes sense.
No, I agree. I honestly, I don't know why it's a thing. It just to me sounds, it's so. There's nothing cromulent about any of this.
Not a single thing.
It's just not good. It's not okay. I don't know. Anyway, that's our opinion, and we're sticking to it.
Exactly.
All right, Tico.
Yes.
We got games coming for PlayStation Plus. Last week we learned all about the Xbox One games, or Xbox games.
Yes.
But this week, my brain is on vacation already, folks. I am sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry.
He's not.
I'm really not.
And it left a while ago, too. So.
It left before the show started, let me tell you. Anyway, PlayStation Plus games. This month, why is it not on here anymore? We're supposed to be getting a VR game. And it's not in here anymore.
Did they take it away?
I read it. Oh, yes, we are. We are getting... I'm sorry. It's in... Okay.
Oh, bonus. The bonus.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for the first month, PlayStation Plus gamers are going to be getting a VR game if you have VR, which is great because this is one of the launch titles I don't have. So VR players they're going to get Riggs Mechanical Combat League.
Mechanized Combat League.
Mechanized Combat League,
yes.
Which is essentially you are in a big mech. And it's an arena. It's like it's basically a MOBA in VR with big mechs.
It is nice that they're adding a VR game and not saying, hey, if you don't have VR, screw you. They're saying here's a bonus one with VR as a thing. So it is a nice thing that they're doing, not just putting that in there and saying like you have to have VR, otherwise you're screwed and you don't get to enjoy this.
Agreed. And I think at the same time it's sort of it's a self-serving thing because they've just announced drops in prices for all VR.
Yeah.
So the bundle with the camera is now $400 US or 500 Canadian, and then the entire bundle with the Move controllers, the camera, plus the PlayStation VR Worlds is going to be $450 US, which is still a good deal. You're only $50 more for 2 Move controllers plus the VR Worlds game, which honestly is a great VR title.
Yeah.
And it's $579 Canadian, so for $80 more in Canada, that's actually a really good deal because what did I pay? I paid $700.
Yeah, I think it was about $680 or something like that plus tax.
Yeah. I mean, I was able to get it 10% off at Walmart, but I think it launched at $700 for that whole package. It's now down to...
You might be right. Yeah, I think it might have been $699.
Yeah, and now it's $579. So it's coming down. I mean, this is pretty much the first solid drop in price.
Yeah.
They've had sales, but they've never had an actual drop in the price. So, you know, come Christmas, you watch, it's going to drop again.
Yep.
Right? They want to get more people in. They want it to be Christmas gifts. I think by Christmas, you're going to see another $100 price drop. To get it sold.
Yeah, if you've got PlayStation Plus and you don't have it yet, just start downloading them and just prepping.
If you plan to get VR, then yeah, for sure, add the VR title to your library. Yeah. But the other games, Infamous Second Son for PS4, great game. I think that was a launch title. Game. Was it launch or shortly after launch?
I thought Second Son. Oh yeah, that was I think shortly after launch for the
very close to launch. Love that game. Really, really well done. Beautiful game too.
Yeah.
I did a lot of videos and a lot of screenshots with that. Also for the PS4, we're going to get Strike Vector EX. I'm not really sure what that is. It might be a
Extreme.
Is it a
EX is Extreme.
Twin stick shooter? I want to say, but I'm not sure. For PS3, if you're still playing your PS3, you can get Truck Racer, which I'm sure is a racer with trucks.
It sounds,
but you know what? I'm just guessing.
They just picked the most generic title ever.
I'm just guessing
for their game.
That it's a racer where you drive trucks, but I could be wrong. You know, it could be dune buggies for all I know. Handball 2016, because those are games that definitely need annual releases.
Yes. Well, I mean, you got to make sure you have the full roster of handball players in there. I mean, you don't want to be playing with a 2015 roster.
Hello. I mean, I got to have my full roster of handball teams in here.
Like, I'm a little bothered that it's not the 2017 because they made some extreme improvements to, like, the hand detailing. I have no idea if that's true or not, but, I mean, what else are you going to improve?
Better hands in the 2017. What else are you going
to improve in that? Like, the hand customization, like, just... top-notch hand customization in 2017. So, I mean, maybe next year.
Nothing like the Arc customization.
No, your hands would be like...
These are good-looking hands.
Weird claw thing if you were using the Arc thing.
That's right. And you definitely don't want that when you're playing handball.
No, you don't. You can't play handball with a claw.
No. PS Vita, which is also cross-buy with PS4, we're getting We Are Doomed. Because, you know, we're doomed. I thought that was pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Especially in today's world.
It is. It's not.
Also, I think this is just for you, Tico. Just for you. You really need to get back into the PS4 because this next cross-buy, PS Vita, PS4 game, is Hatoful Boyfriend. You know, that dating game one, right? With pigeons?
Yeah. It's like pigeons. I don't know.
Isn't that right up your alley with, you know, kitty powers?
It sounds like something I would play. It sounds like something I would play.
It's definitely, you need to download this and play it on your PS4.
I have a Vita as well, so.
Oh, well, I want you to capture PS4 video of Hatoful Boyfriend.
Maybe.
It's, you know, it's your duty to play that game just for this show.
Maybe. I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore.
Oh, now you're going to make me play it, aren't you?
Somebody, yeah. You know what? We can make Jeff do it.
Oh, that's Jeff's initiation back onto the show.
Yeah, it's like, Jeff, listen, you enjoyed your time off. Here's your punishment.
Yeah, no Destiny 2 for you.
No.
Until you play Hatoful Boyfriend.
Not until we have an 8-hour review of the pigeon game.
Good. All right, we are trucking right along. It is definitely going to be a shorter show this week. I do apologize. But, you know, sometimes that happens. Finally, here you go, Tico. This is just for you. The Walking Dead meets Pokemon Go in a new AR game. Yeah, I read this the other day, and it's... I don't know. It's neat, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's weird. So apparently you can use your phone. Okay, I'm going to explain what it is, and then I'm going to explain how kind of weird this is going to be. You know, it harkens back to Pokemon last year. So you are walking through the world, through your house, through whatever, and there's going to be apparently there's going to be zombies around, like on the real street that you're in front of or wherever. In your living room, there could be a zombie. Or on your couch, there might be a weapon that you can pick up, you know. There's going to be stuff around that you can pick up and use in this AR game. And it's all going to be happening in your surroundings. And you're going to fight the zombies on your phone. And characters from the game, like Michonne, will be in it, and they will fight alongside you. Now, that sounds kind of cool.
I'll be honest with you, it doesn't sound that cool.
I will probably download it to check it out. I am fascinated by AR games, and I like to at least check them out and see what they're doing. Right? I tried the AR mode in Pokemon Go a couple of times, and it's like, meh, whatever. So I will check this out anyway to see what it's all about. But can you imagine this game? It's going to get more like people literally just walking down the street with their phone in front of them, and they're not even looking. The only reason they're looking at where they're going is because they happen to see it through the phone.
On the phone, yeah.
Right?
Like,
they're not actually
just like get a goggle set and you just play everything.
It's like that. You might as well just wear the HoloLens everywhere you go playing a game. Yeah.
There is a Harry Potter AR game that they're working on right now as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where you have to do magic spells to capture fantastic beasts and stuff like that, which actually sounds kind of cool.
Right.
The Harry Potter one actually is more intriguing than this. I
think I remember reading about that. But can you just imagine the looks people are going to get making a magic wand in the middle of everywhere just trying to catch monsters? You're going to look like a fool.
At least now you'll have the excuse of saying, I'm playing Harry Potter Go, instead of just doing it randomly on your own on the street.
That's true.
Like, at least you'll have, like, people might think you're just playing the game, not just be that wacko who's waving his hand around.
Well, there are people like that, though. Believe me, my wife works at Walmart. She's seen them all.
Oh, yes. I've seen many as well.
Yes. Because in your job, you have to go into Walmarts.
I do. I do. And I was in the East End today, too.
Oh, no. The East End of Hamilton.
East End of Hamilton.
Place you want to steer clear of.
If you can avoid it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is coming. Walking Dead meets Pokemon Go. So, don't be surprised if someone mistakes you for a zombie and tries to kill you sometime next year. Yeah,
I'm just waiting for the first legal defense of, like, I thought he was a zombie in my game, so I hit him with a baseball bat.
All right. Well, that is pretty much it for this week. News was pretty sparse, and we didn't get to play a lot of games because I was way too addicted to Mario plus Rabbids.
Yes, and I actually, we're in baseball playoff season for me, so I actually had like three or four games this week already.
And your sports.
Well, just in case, like, I want to be prepared in case they bring that to the Olympics.
To the Olympics, of course.
After video game Olympics. I have a better shot of making the real softball team than I would video game those.
Not handball?
Well, no. Not with 2016 at least.
Okay. All right, well, that is it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for tuning in to watch us on the YouTubes. Of course, I am Ziantane. You can follow me everywhere. On Twitter, I am at XIANTAYNE. Of course, the show notes, links to all of the articles we spoke about today are at omgnexus.com. And if you do like us, give us a like on our YouTube page over there somewhere. Subscribe and share us with all your friends.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Second Place, and you can follow the show on Twitter at the OMG Hour. And like I said, next week we'll be playing Destiny 2. I'm taking the week off because I need time off, but I'm playing Destiny 2, and our hope is that Jeff will return to us next week for our Destiny 2 show. That's it. Thanks everyone for listening to episode number 265. We'll be back again next week. Good night, guys. This has been an OMGNexus.com production.